This video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute professional medical advice. Please consult with your doctor or a qualified healthcare specialist before starting any new vitamins or supplements mentioned in this video. Use of this information is at your own risk. Imagine waking up one morning, swinging your legs over the side of the bed and realizing the strength to stand is simply gone. It starts subtly, a slight stagger when you get up from a deep sofa, a heavy, lead-like feeling in your thighs as you climb the stairs. You tell yourself it is just another birthday, another tax paid to the passage of time. But what if I told you that what you are experiencing isn't just getting older? What if I told you that your muscles are being systematically dismantled by a silent biological hunger that no amount of walking or steak eating can satisfy? Welcome to ElderFit Nutrition. It's a pleasure to have you with us today. We are here to talk about a reality that is as terrifying as it is ignored by mainstream medicine. Right now, there is a clock ticking inside your muscle fibers. For the vast majority of people over 60, this clock is accelerating toward a state of total physical frailty called sarcopenia. This isn't just about looking toned at the beach. It is about the literal ability to go to the bathroom by yourself, to carry your own groceries, or to hold your grandchild without your knees buckling. The shock for most seniors is that they think they are doing everything right. They go for their morning walks. They try to eat more protein. They take their standard multivitamins. Yet, they still feel their legs getting thinner, their grip getting weaker, and their balance becoming a source of constant anxiety. If this sounds like you aren't failing. You are being failed. You are being failed by a medical system that looks at your weakening frame and tells you it's normal for your age. It is not normal. It is a deficiency-driven catastrophe. The most frightening part is that once you cross a certain threshold of muscle loss, the death spiral begins. When you lose muscle, you lose your metabolic engine. When you lose your engine, you lose the ability to burn fat, regulate blood sugar, and support your bones. You become a prisoner in a body that feels like it's made of glass. Stay with me until the end of this video, because the second half contains a protocol that most seniors have never been told, a specific mineral key that can stop this theft of your independence in its tracks. Before we dive into the science of how to stop this decay, please take a moment to subscribe to ElderFit Nutrition. Your support allows us to continue bringing you the raw, research-backed truth that can save your mobility and your life. Before we move to the secret mechanism of why your muscles are failing, I want you to take a moment of honest reflection. Think about your physical capability today compared to just 3 years ago. Question: if you had to choose the one thing that scares you most about aging, would it be A, losing the ability to walk and move independently? B, becoming a burden on your family due to physical weakness? Please comment A or B below. I read every single comment, and your answers help me understand exactly how to help you fight back against this silent thief. To understand why your muscles are wasting away, we have to look past the skin and deep into the microscopic architecture of your muscle fibers. Think of your muscles like a highly sophisticated engine. For an engine to work, it needs fuel, but it also needs a spark to ignite that fuel. Most seniors focus entirely on the fuel, the protein and the calories, but they are missing the spark. That spark is magnesium. In the body of a 60-year-old, the relationship between muscle and minerals changes dramatically. Every single time you move a finger or take a step, two minerals perform a delicate, high-stakes dance: calcium and magnesium. Calcium is the on switch. It enters the muscle cell and tells it to contract, to tighten, to work. Magnesium is the off switch. It is what allows the muscle to relax, to reset, and most importantly, to repair. When you are deficient in magnesium, which 70% of you are, your muscles never truly turn off. They stay in a state of microscopic tension, a low-level chronic stiffness that you might feel as a dull ache in your lower back, or a constant tightness in your calves. This tension is exhausting. It burns through your cellular energy, ATP, like a car idling at high RPMs for 24 hours a day. Over weeks and months, this constant idling leads to cellular burnout. The muscle fibers become so fatigued and so starved of the ability to relax that they simply begin to atrophy. They wither because they have no downtime to rebuild. But the role of magnesium goes even deeper than simple relaxation. It is a critical cofactor in muscle protein synthesis. Imagine you are trying to build a brick wall. The protein you eat provides the bricks, but magnesium is the mortar and the mason combined. Without it, the bricks just sit in a pile. You can eat all the protein in the world, but if your magnesium levels are low, your body literally cannot hook those amino acids into new muscle tissue. This is why you see two people of the same age with completely different bodies. One who remains strong and sturdy, and another who seems to be melting away. The first person's body has the mineral mason on the job. The second person's body is starving for the spark. Furthermore, magnesium is the gatekeeper of the NMDA receptor in your nerves. When this mineral is missing, your nervous system stays in a state of high alert, sending excessive pain and fatigue signals to your brain. This creates a vicious cycle. Your brain thinks the muscles are damaged, so it sends signals to tighten them further to protect them, which leads to more tension, more energy depletion, and more muscle loss. It is a biological feedback loop that ends in frailty. Understanding this mechanism is the first step toward reclaiming your strength. It isn't just about working harder. It's about giving your biological engine the one component it cannot function without. We aren't just looking to manage the decline. We are looking to reignite the very mechanism that keeps your fibers alive, elastic, and powerful. Perhaps the most frustrating part of this journey for many of you is the feeling of being gaslit by your own medical records. You go to your annual checkup, you explain that your legs feel heavy, your grip is slipping, and your endurance is vanishing. Yet your doctor looks at a piece of paper and tells you that everything is normal. You see the magnesium line on your blood work, and it sits comfortably within the reference range. This is the medical mirage that keeps millions of seniors trapped in a cycle of physical decline. The standard serum magnesium test, the one ordered 99% of the time, is fundamentally flawed for anyone trying to save their muscle mass. To understand why, you must realize that your body treats magnesium like a high-stakes emergency fund. Only about 1% of your total magnesium is allowed to circulate in your blood. The other 99% is locked away inside your cells, your bones, and most importantly, your muscle tissue. Your heart and brain require a very specific level of magnesium in the blood to keep you alive second by second. If that level drops even slightly, your body goes into a silent survival mode. It begins to strip magnesium out of your leg muscles, your back muscles, and your arms to top off the blood supply. This means your blood tests can look perfect while your muscles are being hollowed out, starving for the mineral they need to function. You are effectively walking around with normal blood and critically depleted muscles. This is why you feel weak despite a clean bill of health. To find the truth, you must look where the magnesium actually lives. You must demand a red blood cell magnesium test, often called an RBC magnesium test. While the standard serum test only looks at the pocket change in your bloodstream, the RBC test looks at the bank account inside the cells. For a senior over 60, a result that falls in the low end of the normal range is often a disaster for muscle health. You aren't looking for normal, you are looking for optimal, which usually sits between 5.5 and 6.5 milligrams per deciliter. If you have never had this specific test, you have never truly had your magnesium checked. You have been navigating a dark room with a broken flashlight, wondering why you keep tripping. By identifying this cellular hunger, you finally stop guessing and start addressing the root cause of your frailty. It is the difference between treating a symptom and fixing the system. Stopping the decay of your muscle tissue requires more than just taking a supplement. It requires a sophisticated, targeted strategy that respects the unique challenges of the aging body. Most seniors are currently wasting their money on magnesium oxide, the most common form found in cheap multivitamins. For the purpose of rebuilding muscle and nerve function, this form is almost useless, with an absorption rate as low as 4%. It often does more to irritate your bowels than it does to fuel your fibers. To truly reclaim your strength, you must use forms that are bioavailable and functional. I recommend a dual action protocol designed specifically for the 60-plus physiology. The cornerstone of this protocol is magnesium glycinate taken at bedtime. Because it is bound to the amino acid glycine, it is incredibly gentle on the digestive tract, a critical factor since many seniors struggle with gut sensitivity. Beyond just providing magnesium, the glycine component acts as a signal to your nervous system to enter a deep restorative state. This is when the masonry work of muscle repair actually happens by taking 300 to 400 milligrams of elemental magnesium in glycinate form before sleep. You allow your muscles to fully release the chronic tension of the day and enter a phase of genuine protein synthesis. For those who feel a deep, dragging fatigue during the day, adding magnesium malate in the morning can be a game changer. Malic acid is a key player in the Krebs cycle, the energy-producing factory of your cells. It helps turn the food you eat into the actual power your muscles need to contract with force. But there is one final, often overlooked secret: transdermal magnesium. As we age, our stomach acid decreases, and many of us take medications like PPIs for acid reflux that block mineral absorption almost entirely. By applying magnesium chloride oil or lotion directly to your skin, specifically on your thighs, calves, and lower back, you bypass the digestive gatekeeper entirely. The magnesium is absorbed through the pores and delivered directly to the underlying muscle tissue that is starving for it. This three-pronged approach, glycinate for repair, malate for energy, and transdermal for direct delivery, is the most powerful way to saturate your cells and stop the silent theft of your independence. This isn't just about pills. It is about providing the biological mortar required to keep your physical frame standing tall and strong for decades to come. Before you take your first dose of magnesium, we must address the absolute boundary of safety. While this mineral is a miracle for your muscle fibers, it is processed through the most critical filters in your body, your kidneys. As we cross the threshold of 60, our kidney function naturally begins to decline, often silently. For the vast majority, the kidneys will efficiently flush out any excess magnesium. But for those living with chronic kidney disease, this process slows down. If your kidneys cannot clear the surplus, magnesium can build up to toxic levels in your blood. This is why looking at your most recent blood work for your creatinine levels and your GFR, your glomerular filtration rate, is not just a recommendation. It is a vital necessity. If those numbers are abnormal, you must sit down with your physician before starting any supplementation protocol. This conversation is the bridge between a life-changing recovery and a dangerous complication. Once you have confirmed your safety, the journey becomes one of profound commitment to your future self. You must understand that the muscle loss you are experiencing is not a life sentence. It is a biological response to a specific environmental deficiency. You have the power to stop the melting of your strength, but it requires a shift in how you view your body. You are not a machine that is simply breaking down because the parts are old. You are a biological system that is struggling because a primary spark has been extinguished. By committing to this protocol, by choosing the right forms like glycinate and malate, by demanding the correct RBC test, and by feeding your muscles directly through the skin, you are making a declaration that your independence is worth fighting for. The chair you are sitting in today does not have to be the place where you spend your final years. The strength to stand, to walk, and to live with dignity is still within your reach, waiting for you to provide the one mineral your cells have been screaming for. The story of muscle loss in the senior years is often told as a tragedy of inevitability, a slow fading of the light that we are expected to accept with grace. But the reality we have explored today suggests something far more hopeful and far more demanding. We have seen that the difference between a life of vibrant movement and a life of restricted frailty often comes down to a single, overlooked biological variable. The profound lesson to be drawn from this is that normal is the enemy of optimal. In a medical world that is stretched thin, normal simply means you aren't currently in a state of emergency. But for your muscles to thrive after 60, for your nerves to remain calm, and for your body to resist the pull of gravity, you cannot settle for being not in an emergency. You must seek the optimal environment that your unique physiology requires. The application of this lesson starts with a fundamental shift in your self-advocacy. The next time you feel that heaviness in your limbs or that unexplained weakness, Do not dismiss it as a symptom of your birth certificate. Instead, treat it as a data point. Take the knowledge of the red blood cell magnesium test into your doctor's office not as a suggestion, but as a requirement for your care. Apply the protocol of timed magnesium intake. Glycinate for the repair of the night and malate for the energy of the day, as if you are nourishing a garden that has been parched for years. This is not a quick fix that happens overnight. It is a systematic rehydration of your cellular reserves. As you move forward, remember that your body is a masterpiece of adaptation. Even at 60, 70, or 80, your muscle fibers are still capable of responding to the right signals. They are still capable of repair, of strengthening, and of holding you upright. The silent thief of magnesium deficiency has had enough of your time. It is time to lock the door, reclaim what has been taken, and step back into a life where your body is an instrument of your will rather than a prison of your limitations. You now hold the key to the spark that ignites the engine of your strength. Use it wisely, use it consistently, and watch as the world opens up to you once again. Before you go, I want to hear your perspective to help everyone in our community learn from each other. Have you ever felt that your strength was declining despite doing everything right? And has a doctor ever suggested checking your mineral levels beyond a standard blood test? Please share your experience in the comments below. Your story might be the exact encouragement someone else needs to hear today. And if this information has given you a new sense of hope for your health, please subscribe to ElderFit Nutrition. Your support is what gives us the motivation to keep uncovering these vital, life-changing truths for you.